Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Soldiers Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant McPherson, and on this show we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Today I have Private First Class James. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing pretty good. So how your day going today?
It's pretty good. I haven't done much. It's been a pretty relaxed day.
Okay. So kind of introduce yourself to the people, let them know like who you are and stuff like that, and where you from.
I am from Columbia, South Carolina, not too far from here. I grew up as a military brat only child, and yeah, it's not much to tell.
Okay, so you say you from Columbia, South Carolina. So kind of explain the atmosphere where you was growing up. Like what did you do growing up and stuff like that?
I played soccer from 7 to 14, and then once I started high school, I did not want to play for the school because my school was basically filled with there's a lot of Hispanics and a lot of Caucasian girls, and they're all like super good at soccer, and I was like, I'm not on their level. I don't want to be on this team. So I stopped playing, and I really just focused on my schoolwork, and I was in JROTC throughout high school.
So what about grades? Like did you get good grades, or like did you excel, or like was you kind of like an average student or what?
I would say a little above average. I'd say a little above average, yeah. I wouldn't say I never got C's. Definitely did get C's, but C's was just about the lowest.
Okay. So you say you didn't play any sports in high school or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, so did you what kind of grades, like what was your process when you was getting ready to graduate high school? Like did you think about going to college or anything?
So my original plan before I enlisted, I was supposed to go to college, to a college that's in South Carolina. They have a pretty good ROTC program. So I was going to, go to college, have the regular good old college experience, ROTC in college, and then whenever I graduated, I would have commissioned into the military versus enlisting.
Okay, so that's what your original plan was.
Mhm.
Okay, so what kind of deviated you from that plan? So why did you want to just go ahead and do enlisted?
Um, I think it was more so because I graduated high school early. So I graduated a couple months after I just turned 17. And I'm in the house, and all I was doing was working. I had my own car, I guess. But it was more so like, dang, I'm out of school. I'm just working. I'm kind of tired of being under this roof. I would like to get out of here as soon as possible. It's just the attitude of being a teenage girl with a mother that's also pretty young is like crazy.
Okay, so what I basically want to get at was like, so when you, how did you like? Okay, so you say it ran in your family, military ran in your family, right?
hmm
Okay, so like, was you younger? Was like your dad or anybody like trying to influence you, or you just automatically like
Oh
kind of?
no. I was never influenced, always supported, but never influenced. It's just I don't know. I feel like whether you want the military to be your career or if you just want to use it as a stepping stone, it's a great like in between place for sure.
I got you. So when you first, tell me about the first experience when you went to go see the recruiter and stuff like that to actually join.
Honestly, I don't even remember that. I know at some point the recruiter that I had at first, she ended up leaving, and I was like, okay, because she didn't say nothing. I'm like, you just left. So I went up there, and they were like, oh yeah, she's not here anymore. What? So she just left
That's
and just threw
crazy.
me to a whole new recruiter. And I was like, oh, okay. But he was cool, so it wasn't like a problem or anything, but it was just like, dang, you could have like texted me, let me know, I'm leaving, da 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 da.
Yeah,
It was mean.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you actually signed up, like what was your what ideal did you want? Like what MOS did you want to choose in the first place?
Mm, With my father being in and my mother being prior military, my mom went above and beyond to like pull a whole list of jobs based on my ASVAB scoring and da 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 da. And she was like, "You're not doing this. You're not being this. You're not doing this. You're not doing that." And I was like, "Okay, well, what is good on this list then?" And then she just made a bunch, and she was going down, and she was like, "Da da da da." My original choice was 42 Alpha, the human resources, but I ended up not getting that one because I got kicked back at MEPS for like a past. It was really dumb. But my recruiter was like, okay, well, make a list of jobs that you're interested in and I'll see what shakes. And mine is what shook.
Okay. So tell them what your current MOS is.
I'm a 27 Delta paralegal specialist.
Okay. So you remember when you went to basic training?
Mm-hmm.
When did you go?
August 2nd, 2021.
Okay. Kind of explain like your experience at basic training.
Well, while I was in basic, my father was also at the same base. So most of the drill sergeants knew who he was. So I had a pretty good time at basic training. They didn't really too much mess with me. My drill sergeant that was there the most, I was pretty cool with him. I'm still friends with him. Like we communicate every now and then. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. Looking back at it, it was fun. Going through it, it was hell. But looking back at it, I'd probably do it again.
Okay, so you got like something that stands out at the top of your head on like something that happened at basic training where you was kind of like a I don't want to say culture shock, but like something that you was like, oh shit, this real, like.
Probably when it came time to throw that grenade.
Okay.
I didn't like that part because they wrote chicken wing on my helmet and I was not appreciative.
Why they did that?
Because if you aren't able to throw it far enough, they'll write chicken wing on the helmet just to tell like the other drills or instructors around that like, hey, they can't throw that far.
That's crazy.
Throw chicken wing on my helmet. But that was probably like the only like shocking part. Like, damn, I'm doing like
real
soldier
shit.
shit.
Okay. So, okay, when you got done with basic training, so kind of like, what was your first duty station? It was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you got here, did you come straight to this unit or what?
Leaving AIT was around HBL time, so I was able to go home for a good 2 weeks first, and then I reported here January 3rd of 22.
Okay, and you was where you at now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and you was with what? Like, tell me a little about your leadership. Like, once you first got here, like, did you have good leadership? Did they like show you like everything you're supposed to be doing? Stuff like that.
I think overall, I don't think I've had a bad leadership experience so far at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, like, from my personal experiences, our leadership now is better because I have more of a relationship with them than I did when I first got here and I was a brand new private that didn't know much.
I got you. So, when you got here, who was your first line supervisor? Who was your leadership?
Sergeant Lovely, he's still here.
Okay. So, as far as leadership, I want to get into leadership. So, kind of from your perspective, what makes a great leader to Private First Class James?
I feel like being personable and actually being a human is like what's most effective with me personally. Like if you're one of those NCOs that are all like, hoorah, Army this, hoorah, Army that, da 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 da. At the end of the day, we're humans. We're not robots. You can't treat everybody like a machine. It doesn't work. There's people that will act out because you treat them like machines. But if you actually talk to them like a person and you build actual relationships, it's much more effective.
I got you. So how you think they go about doing that?
Honestly, I feel like just like a regular basis communication, truthfully. Every leadership role that like I would go like for a go-to is somebody that I talk to every day.
I
Like
got
I
you.
feel more comfortable coming to somebody that I talk to every day versus somebody that's supposed to be my NCO, but I don't really have like a relationship with them. So I don't feel comfortable just saying or talking about whatever to them.
I got you. So, far as your leadership, so, uh, what is next for you? Probably like, what is next for you? Far like, do you see the Army as a career or what?
Honestly, I do not know. I wish I had an answer, but I'm in between like 3 different options in my mind. And I don't know if I want to get out, or if I want to go warrant officer, or if I just want to, throw the ball full swing and go officer. Because I joined at 17 and retiring at 37 sounds amazing. I could do whatever because I'm still super young after that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, what about college or anything? Like you,
I definitely plan on starting school. I may or may not have been procrastinating to start school, but yeah, things happen when they're supposed to happen.
okay. So, you guys kind of got like a basically a synopsis of who Private James is. So make sure you guys follow the podcast on Instagram at Soldiers Talk the Podcast. Also, make sure you guys follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts and also Spotify. Uh, Private James, you got any closing remarks about anything you want the soldiers to know?
Um, don't let other people's experiences dictate how you live your career, and that's about it. Not everybody's experiences are the same. Somebody might hate somewhere, and you might absolutely love that place. You never know till you go.
Okay, and there you guys go. So this has been another episode of Soldiers Talk the Podcast, and I'll see you guys in formation.